All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it here against the Portland Pickles here today. We have some And a very good evening and welcome to you to David Story Field here on the field of Lower Columbia College in Longview, Washington. My name is Zach Smolin, here to bring you all the action between your College Black Bears and the Portland Pickles. Portland won yesterday's game by a score of 8-2. There was hits abound, though the Black Bears didn't have a few silver linings as Jacob Stinson was able to pick up his 8th multi-hit game of the season. And the Black Bears pitching continued to stay sharp, at least in terms of strikeouts, as they were able to send 14 down on strikes. They've struck out 56 batters in their first 4 games of this second half as they come into this game 18-1 overall. With a 12-16 record in the West Coast League. They're 2-2 in the second half and are 2.5 games back away from the leaders on the other side. The Pickles 19-12 overall and 4-3 in the second half. They are 2 games back of the leaders, and the Black Bears can knock them down even with the games in hand by winning the second game in this series. Overall, the Black Bears are 5-14 all time against the no, that can't be correct. Where is that? There we go. 5-11 all time against Portland. That's all right. I wrote it in a different part of my notes. I was a little confused. 5-11 all time against the Pickles. 1-3 this season. They can even the season series and get on pace to winning their first set against Portland ever in their franchise's history. A win today will help them get there as they can try and even it up with Carson Angeroff starting out there on the mound. He goes to Umpqua Community College. He's 1-2 this season, including non-league games and regular games, with a 4.57 ERA, has 18 strikeouts and 13 walks, a 1.60 whip in 21 2/3 innings pitched. This is his 7th game and his 6th start of the season for Cowlitz, and he was electric his last time out, and will go up against Cam Clayton, the shortstop for the Portland Pickles, to start things off today. He's a right-handed hitter. Clayton hitting .302, 19 hits, 63 at-bats. Angeroth righty as well, and Angeroth is ready. Clayton is ready. Let's do it here in Longview as the first pitch is fouled away. We are underway at 6:34 p.m. Pacific time. Little overcast out here today, so a nice cool evening as Angeroth kicks, fires 0-1, and it's laced foul on the right side, 0-2. Angeroth, you might have heard the numbers before, 1-2 with a 4.57 ERA, but his last time out, he had the best outing by far this season for him. He went 7 innings, allowing just 1 earned run against Ridgefield on 4 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. And that all came against the best offense in the league as this is tapped over to first. Jaden Shepard's back there after a day off, and he taps on the bag to send him away for the first out of the inning. So with the leadoff man, Cam Clayton down, the shortstop, let's give you the rest of the Pickles lineup. Hitting second and batting right now is Gabe Scoro, the center fielder. With the left fielder, Matt Jew, hitting third. Ryan Guardino is the cleanup man in right field, with Leo Mosby, the third baseman, hitting fifth. Batting sixth is Evan Leibel, the catcher, with Daniel Hiroshi, the designated hitter, in the 7th spot. Batting eighth is Sam Haiti, the first baseman, and rounding out the order, batting ninth, is Kyle Dernetti. He is at second base as Angeroth has yet to throw a pitch off the plate. Deals a strike on the outside, 0-1. And now Carson's next offering is right there again, says home plate umpire Andrew Mervin. So the count now 0-2. And joining Andrew Mervin in the field is yesterday's home plate umpire Jordan Shepard as the 0-2 zips a little too far high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After a tough outing yesterday where the Black Bears gave up 8 runs, Carson Angeroth off to a good start as he gets Gabe Scoro window shopping on the outside corner and sends him down for out number 2. So to start off the second half, the Black Bears got a couple of shutouts and then held Yakima Valley to just 2 runs. Then yesterday, they allowed 8 against the Pickles, but that only increased their ERA a little bit. As a team, the Black Bears' earned run average is at 3.00, which is tops in the league, as Matt Jew takes a strike on the inside, 0-1. Jew, the left fielder for today's game, hitting .286, 26 hits and 91 at-bats. He has 8 doubles, 2 homers, and 14 runs batted in, as Angeroth hitting the outside edge again and jumps ahead 0-2. Nobody on, 2 down, scoreless tie. Angeroth trying to pick up right where he left off in his last start as he deals high, and Jew watches it the whole way, 1-2. And Cowlitz lost a couple of close ones in Portland. Won the middle game of that 3-game series, though, by a score of 7-0. Are looking to get off to a good start today, especially with the bats, but they certainly do it with the arms as Engroth gets a swing and a miss, strike 3, as Matt Jew waved at a low changeup and is set down on strikes for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. A 1-2-3 for Engroth on the strength of a pair of strikeouts as we go into the bottom of the first in a scoreless tie, and Cowlitz coming to bat. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Welcome back to David Story Field. A scoreless tie, and the Pickles out there on defense with Eric Marujo making his 5th start of the season. He's 3-0 from the University of California, Riverside, 6'1", 160 pounds. He also has an ERA of 1.59. He's made 8 appearances now, counting today's game. 17 innings. He's allowed 14 hits, 5 walks, and has struck out 19. He has a whip of 1.08. And will go off against this Black Bears lineup. Starting off with Riku Nishida, the second baseman, the leadoff man. Hitting second is Brock Bozette at third base, batting second as Jacob Stinson, the right fielder, hits third. Brock Mortenson's in center field, cleaning it up with Wilson Weber catching, batting fifth. Sean Mulcair in the 6th spot, DHing with Jaden Shepard at first base, hitting 7th as the first, and Nishida is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Following Shepard is Matthew Schwartz, the shortstop, hitting 8th, and Johnny Radomski will round things out. The left fielder bats 9th as Marujo misses low and in now, 2-0. Riku Nishida had a great game yesterday, going 3 for 4 with a run scored and stolen base in there as well. And the next one to Nishida is outside, 3 balls and no strikes. So with that, Riku brought his average up to 273 as 18 hits and 66 at-bats, a double, a triple, and 5 runs batted in. As now the 3-0 is inside, ball 4, so Nishida doesn't even have to swing the bat, sees all 4 go right by him, and he's aboard, now leading the team with 16 walks. And the man he was tied with previously is now up to the plate in Brock Bozette.
Number 3 out of Spokane Falls Community College, Brock Bozette.
Bozette hitting .248, knocked in a run yesterday, so he's now up to 22 on the season. He has 26 hits and 105 at-bats, 16 runs scored, 3 doubles, and 2 home runs, as the first one from Marujo misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. Riku Nishida is certainly a threat over at first base. He has 10 stolen bases in 11 tries. And the 1-0 is upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes, as Marujo has now missed with 6 consecutive to start this ball game. And the Black Bears will take all the help they can get in this ball game. They do walk just under 4 times a game, so they do have a patient approach as they check on Nishida, and the throw is not in time. Portland out there in their gray jerseys with Portland written across the front and navy blue cursive. They have numbers on the back trimmed in navy blue, and the numbers themselves are an electric pickle green. Have gray pants with a navy blue stripe, black socks with navy blue belts, and navy blue caps with the Portland Pickles pickle logo smack dab in the center. Two balls, no strikes, as Leibel sets out on the outside part of the plate. The 2-0, and there is Marujo's first strike of the early evening, and the count now 2-1. The Black Bears in their black jerseys today, trimmed out in orange with the Cowlitz Black Bears C on the top left lapel, also trimmed in white. Numbers on the back, orange trimmed in white with white pants, a black stripe going down either side with little orange accents as well. Black belts and black caps with that same orange Black Bears C prominently displayed in the middle. So a lot of checks on Nishida as the 2-1 to Bozette is a breaking ball that's low, 3-1. So to start this ball game, well, and this broadcast too, Marujo just can't seem to buy a strike so far. Pitching from the stretch with Riku over at first base. Being held on by Sam Haney, and he misses outside again, so Bozette is able to grab that team lead right back and tie with Nishida, both with 16 walks, as Jacob Stinson will make his way on up there. And that'll prompt a very early visit from Brian Grant, the pitching coach. We saw him plenty of times yesterday, but usually don't see him after the first couple batters of the game. Back-to-back walks, just one strike, and it's probably not something that they saw too much in warm-ups today, or else maybe they would have had some quick questions before then, but we'll see if Marujo can straighten things out. In his last start against Walla Walla, he went 3 innings, allowing 1 earned run but 3 total runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and that was his last game. He has not exceeded 3 1/3 innings in any of his starts. That's kind of been the trend for this Portland Pickles team. As they don't really have their starters go very long. So here's Jacob Stinson to the plate. He was hot in yesterday's game. 2 for 4 with an RBI. That was his 8th multi-hit game of the season. Now up to 3-0-1 as he squares around, pulls it back as the pitch high and outside, 1-0. Stinson is 28 for 93. That's the most hits on the team. He has 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 7 runs batted in. Also 11 walks for him. He's got an on-base up there at 387 and a slugging of 409. There's 2 very speedy base runners on for the Black Bears. Stinson goes to bunt, and it sails high and over on the left. 1 ball and 1 strike as he bunts it foul. So Kalich can see the game plan right now. They're trying to move the 2 guys over into scoring position for Brock Mortensen and Wilson Weber, 2 of these this team's big-time run producers. And the 1-1 is hit in the air to very shallow left. Coming in on it is Jew, and he can't make the play. Nishida will go into third base, and now 3 straight base runners for the Cowlitz Black Bears, as Jacob Stinson able to serve one out into left, and now they're loaded up for Brock Mortensen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the center fielder, number 20.
Mortensen is 13 for 61, 7 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and 7 runs batted in. He has a .314 on-base percentage and a slugging of .361. A lefty against the right-handed throwing Marujo, who's so far had a really difficult time getting any pitches over the plate. First one to Mortensen. High and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So Brock can be patient here. Just wait for a good pitch to hit. As Marujo probably not going to be nibbling around the corners too much, given the way that he started this contest. So he'll either get something way off the plate or something right over, as he saw in that time. But Marujo mixed speeds there. And Mortensen waves and misses, 1-1. This evening here in Longview, 72 degrees and partly cloudy. Wind coming in at 7 miles an hour as Brock takes one high and outside. 2-1, so another hitter's count for him. As he comes up in a hitter's situation, bases loaded and nobody out. Now the Black Bears had a bases loaded and 1 out situation yesterday. We're unable to make anything of it. So let's see if they can come around and get something going today, as the 2-1 is fouled right back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brock Mortensen again, incredibly talented outfielder from the UC Santa Barbara. His teammates with the third baseman over on Portland, Leo Mosby, both of them big-time power bats. It's now the 2-2. It's hit in the air, foul over on the left side. Mosby gives chase a little bit, but that's actually going to clear the bleachers and go into the LCC parking lot. So we'll keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first, nobody out. Nishida walked, Bozette walked, Stinson singled. Now the man the Black Bears want at the plate in Brock Mortensen as the 2-2 is a short check swing, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So he did not go around on that tempting curveball, and he's ready to go with a loaded count and loaded bases. Wilson Weber waiting in the wings. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. He deals, and that's down and inside, ball 4. So Brock Mortensen gets an RBI based on balls, the 3rd walk of the inning for Marujo, and the Black Bears take a 1-0 lead.
Now batting the catcher, number 34.
So now the Black Bears have had a lead in 4 of 5 contests against Portland this season. And let's see if this is one that they can hang on to. Maybe build a little more as Wilson Weber steps up. First pitch to him is a chopper up the middle. Going to be a tough play. And it goes through for a base hit. Bozette scores. Here comes Stinson. He will also score. It's a 2 RBI single for Wilson Weber. And the Black Bears tacking on in the first inning. Still nobody out. It's 3-0. I love hearing that song here at David Story, as now Sean Mulcair will step on up to the plate. Mulcair hitting 183, 11 hits, and 60 at-bats, pair doubles, a home run, and 6 runs batted in. Left-handed batter from the University of Portland. You can see the purple gloves with the Nike swish. He's wearing up to bat as Marujo goes and looks over at Mortensen on second, but nothing doing. So now double barrel action going on in the Pickles bullpen. 2 different guys throwing, both right-handers. So Marujo's thrown 20 pitches, 7 strikes, and it's already given up 3 runs on 2 hits. Next one is tapped away, foul, or rather the first one to Mulcair. It's over by the Black Bears batter's box, no balls and 1 strike. And Mulcair does have a home run this year, but it came on the very hitter-friendly confines over in Ridgefield. Now here, looking at the dimensions, it seems like the ball would fly out, but we got that crazy crosswind coming in from left center field as the 0-1 is punched foul over on the left side by Mulcair, 0-2. It's 306 down the left field line, 342 to the power alley in left center, 387 to dead center field, and 326 down the right field line. The entire infield is all turf, and the outfield, after a few steps away from the infield, becomes all grass. So no balls, 2 strikes, still nobody out, 2 men on, and he delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mulcair waves right through that changeup as he sent out on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Now with 1 down, here's Jaden Shepard. Shepard from Ohlone College, 15 for 85, hitting 176. 4 doubles, a home run, and 10 runs batted in for him. Looking for some more right now. He's got that raw power, hitting the gap, could score 2 with the speed of Weber. First pitch to him is hit in the air in that gap in right center, but drifting over to make the play is Ryan Guardino, as tagging and going to third will be Brock Mortensen. So Shep gives it a ride, but ultimately finds himself out here on the liner to right field. And there's 2 down, but now runners on the corners.
Number 4 out of Lower Columbia College, Matthew Schwartz.
So here comes Matthew Schwartz, a 253 hitter, 25 hits, 99 at-bats. He has 2 doubles and 7 runs batted in, also an on-base of 324 and a slugging of 273. As the Black Bears looking for more here, already have a trio up there. And the first one to him. Breaking ball, misses up, 1-0. So not exactly what the Pickles were expecting out of Marujo so far. He's only given up 3 earned runs all season, and now he's given up 3 earned runs in this first inning. As the 1-0 is a fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Weber waits on first. He knocked in 2 with a single. Brock Mortensen drove in a run by walking. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Schwartz as that elevated fastball gets him to chase high and away, and now he's behind 1-2. Mortensen on third, Weber on first base. At the plate is Matthew Schwartz as Evan Leibel calls out the first and third signs. Marujo checks over on Weber, being held on by Haney. And the 1-2. Swung on and tipped back into the screen, so we'll do it all over again. Well, if nothing else, the Black Bears making Marujo work here. He's up to 28 pitches, 14 have gone for strikes. Also, 3 walks in the inning and a pair of base hits. And now the 1-2 pitch is punched again, foul, this time slicing over towards the right end. And by the first base side concession, so we'll keep it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Johnny Radomski waits on deck. If he's able to get to the plate, the Black Bears will have sent them all 9 batters in their order. And the 1-2. Upstairs as Schwartz not going to chase that fastball. Was right about the brim level with his helmet. So now Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Weber with a slightly bigger lead takes another step as Schwartz pops one up into very shallow center field. Tracking back on it was Gernetti, but coming in is Scoro now, and he'll make the grab for the final out of the inning. But the Black Bears scored 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left to board. They take a 3-0 lead into the top of the second with the Pickles coming to bat. You are tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. So here we are in the top of the second. Engeroth going to face off against Guardino, Mosby, and Leibel. As he sent down Clayton, Scoro, and Jew, all in order, 1, 2, 3. So Guardino going to be the first to come on up. He's today's right fielder. He was a designated hitter in yesterday's game, and bats right-handed over from that right-hander's batter's box. Hitting .316, 25 hits, and 79 at-bats. A team-leading 24 runs scored. He has 13 doubles. That also leads the team. And has knocked in 17 runs while homering twice. And Engeroth's first one to him is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Coming into this game, Engeroth not one of the bigger strike throwers on this Black Bears squad, but always gives him just enough to get it done. He throws 59.2% of his pitches for strikes, and in first pitches, though, it's 65.3% as he gets a foul tip into Weber's glove, and again is up 0-2. Only needed 11 pitches to get out of that first inning with no runs on the board. And the 0-2. Hit in the air over to the right side, and that'll slice foul, so we'll keep it an 0-2 count. Again, the Black Bears, even though they kind of got hit yesterday a lot, giving up those 8 runs, they still struck out 14 Pickles. And the 0-2 is drilled in the air to right center. Coming in on it is Stinson, and he'll make the grab to send him down for the first out of the inning. So Guardino put some good wood on it, but 4 have been sent down in a row as now the ultimate thorn in the Black Bears' side, Leo Mosby, coming up to the plate. Mosby hitting .369, 31 hits and 84 at-bats, 16 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. Also a team-leading 29 runs batted in. First one to Mosby is fouled back, 0-1. Mosby riding a 13-game hitting streak in which he's 21 for 48. That's a .438 average in that span, where he has all 4 of his doubles, 3 of his home runs, and 21 of his RBI. Now the 0-1. Engeroth misses down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mosby, another UC Santa Barbara product. One of his teammates is out there in center field. That's Brock Mortensen, as the 1-1 is a broken bat and hit right back to Engeroth. He's going to start hustling over to first before flipping it to Shepard, and he puts him down for the second out of the inning. So 2 batters, 2 outs here in the top of the second, as now Evan Leibel, left-hander, will come on up. Leibel hitting .263, 15 hits, 57 at-bats, 8 runs scored, a pair of doubles, a triple, and 9 runs batted in for him. And in his last season against the his last outing against the Black Bears, he went 0 for 3 with the walk. Engeroth's first one to him, missed down and in for a ball, 1-0. Left-handed hitter with an open stance. Leibel trying to be the first base runner of the game, but won't be with that swing. As he waves at that off-speed low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Give you the Black Bears defense real quick. Johnny Radomski's in left with Brock Mortensen in center. Jacob Stinson patrols the grounds in right, as the 1-1 is flared foul right above the Black Bear dugout. Oh, and Brian Burris has still got it, as that one ricochets off of the pole over there, and he reaches over to make the grab with no glove, by the way. So never mind the Black Bears defense. Let's get the coaching defense. As the 1-2 caught on a missed, strike 3. Engeroth with his 3rd strikeout of the evening sends him down for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left to board. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Black Bears 3, Pickles nothing, and Cowlitz coming to bat right here on YouTube and 99.1 FM, 1400 AM, KADO, Longview, Kelso. Bottom of the second now, Radomski, Nishida, Bozetu up against another inning from Marujo, who had a tough one. Walking 3 Black Bears, including one with the bases loaded, and also giving up a pair of hits as Radomski steps up for the first time today. First pitch to Radomski is fouled away on the left side, count 0-1. And Johnny hitting .128, 6 hits and 47 at-bats. He has 2 doubles and 2 triples, has also knocked in a run. As he swings and misses at that curveball, 0-2. Radomski with an on-base of 300 and a slugging of .255. So Radomski, his average might be pretty low, but does have those 7 walks in there, so finds his way to get aboard. Choked up on the bat now as the 0-2 is caught on a missed, strike 3, as a tumbling curve by Marujo sends him down and puts him in the dugout with 1 away now in the bottom of the second. Here comes Riku Nishida.
Now batting the second baseman out of Osaka, Japan, number 5, Riku Nishida.
So Nishida's now scored runs in back-to-back games. Steps on up. He is 0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored, as he has not seen a strike so far today, except, well, he can't say that anymore, as that fastball hit the outside corner, 0-1. Rika was a hit at the kids camp today, hosted by the Black Bears. The kids were having a blast over at his station, his wiffle ball game, just having a great time. And really all the Black Bears did an excellent job. And Aaron Matthews running it as this is flared into left and diving. Can't come up with the play as Matt Jew. Nishida's off to the races. He's going to go for second now, try for third. Here comes the throw. They don't cut him off, and he is out. Matt Jew with a cannon of an arm, as even though that rolled all the way to the corner, it still is 3:06, so Nishida gets a double, but is then out on the 7-5, so now there's 2 away. And Brock Bozette coming up to bat.
Brock Bozette.
Bozette 0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored, just like Nishida as the first pitch to him. He squares around, and it's a beautiful bunt. Picked up by Marujo, though. He fires low to first, and that'll do it. So the Black Bears try to catch him off guard, but cannot get it done as they are, well, in some essence, set down in order. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left aboard. Top of the third coming on up as the Black Bears lead at 3-0 with the Pickles coming to bat right here on YouTube and KEDO. Top 3 now, and Daniel Hiroshi, Sam Haney, and Kyla Gernetti all due up to the plate. That is 7-8-9 as Carson has sent down all 6 Pickles that he has faced so far today, and helping them hold on to this 3-0 lead now that they carry into the top of the third.
Now batting the designated hitter number 5.
And now an even more beautiful evening as the sun's starting to peek through the clouds. First pitch to Hiroshi is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Hiroshi is 1 for 4 against the Black Bears this season. A couple of strikeouts for him mixed in there. As the next offering to him is fouled straight back, and Angeroth again ahead in the count, 0-2. He's had plenty of those so far through his first 7 batters. Hiroshi with just 5 hits and 30 at-bats, hitting 167. He does have a triple and 3 runs batted in, but that's his only extra base hit as he flares one on the right side now. 0-2, still the count. Portland, a fairly good hitting team. They average 6.3 runs per contest and 8 hits a game, and hitting 239 with a 368 on base and a 353 slugging as this grounded softly over to Schwartz, but he hustles in and makes a strong throw to first to put him away for the first out. Can always count on this infield defense for the Black Bears to make their plays, as Schwartz, another good example of that right there. So now Sam Haney to the plate. Another left-hander. And starting over at first in today's contest, the offering to him is a fastball strike on the inside, 0-1. Haney off to a slow start, just 1 for 18, a .056 average. No extra base hits or runs batted in, but he has walked twice as he sees one high and outside, 1-1. These two teams advertised as the best 2 pitching staffs in the league. So far, we're really seeing that from Carson Angeroth as he gets a foul backwards, 1-2. Black Bears lead the league with a 3 ERA, are second right behind the Pickles with a 1.26 whip. The Pickles have a 1.25. Black Bears also second in slugging average allowed, 2.96, and third in batting average against at 221 as this one fouled into the dirt. Or just fouled away there. And we'll keep it 1-2. On the other end, Portland are second in the league with a 3.18 earned run average. A 1.25 whip puts them in first there. Their slugging average against is at 293 as Engroth, just missed inside. To Haney, 2-2. And a 207 batting average against for Portland. That is first in the West Coast League. And now the 2-2. Swing and a missed strike three. Engeroth puts a fourth man down on strikes. And this one comes for the second out of the inning. So Engeroth has struck out half the batters he's faced as Kyle Gernetti will work his way up into the batter's box. Gernetti hitting 146, 7 hits and 48 at-bats, 11 runs scored, a pair of doubles, and 4 runs batted in. The big number for him, though, 17 walks. So the first pitch to the righty is a little high, 1-0. And Gernetti this season against Cowlitz, just 1 for 7, but with 3 runs scored, also has walked twice. So the 0-1 is high again and tight, 2-0. And so Gernetti with that low batting average, but an on base of 364. So it's kind of like the Johnny Radomski of the Black Bears. Again, just off to a slow start hitting the baseball, but can still work their way on. And coincidentally, he's also the number 9 batter in this lineup as Engeroth falls behind 3-0. He deals the next one, and he yanks it down and away, ball 4. So after retiring the first 8 in a row, Gernetti will trot on over to first, and the lineup will flip over. Here comes Cam Clayton.
Back to the top of the lineup now, stepping up to the plate is the shortstop, number 46, Cam Clayton.
Clayton 0 for 1 with the tapper over to the first baseman. Jaden Shepard made a nice play on that ball and sets him down for the first out of the game. Now Engeroth hoping that he could be the last out here in the top of the third. Gernetti with a nice lead off the bag as Carson misses down and outside, 1-0. Gernetti has stolen 5 bases in as many attempts, so certainly a threat to get off and running even with 2 down here. Takes a 10-foot lead off the bag as the 1-0 is a little high, and popping up to at least intimidate Gernetti is Wilson Weber, but now Engeroth has missed with 6 straight pitches. Portland as a whole, a team that likes to run. 54 swipe bags in 75 attempts as Engeroth is able to deal a strike right there, so breaks that little bit of a streak he was on. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left for the Black Bears. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Pickles so far. In the top of the third with 2 down as Engeroth misses with the 2-seam down and out and falls behind to a second batter in a row with a 3-ball count. It's 3-1. Engeroth pitching from the extreme third base side of the rubber, trying to battle his way back into this count. 3-1 is low, ball 4, so back-to-back walks now. Now both starting pitchers have done that as Gabe Scoro going to step up to the plate.
Gabe Scoro.
Scoro is 0 for 1 today and came into the contest hitting just 206, 1 double, and 4 runs batted in for him. He also has 13 hits and 63 at-bats and 14 runs scored. He's today's starting center fielder as Weber sets up down and away. Engeroth checks over on Gernetti, and the first pitch is yanked down and out, 1-0, and that's a spot that he's missed quite a few times this inning, especially with 2 outs. And Corey Keir must have seen something. So the Black Bear pitching coach going to trot on out there and see if he can go over what was going on there. And while he's doing that, we'll take a quick look around the West Coast League scoreboard. The Walla Walla Sweets lead the Wenatchee Apple Sox by a score of 2-0. That's at the top of the third inning at Burleski Stadium. Ridgefield lead the Port Angeles Lefties 3-0 at Civic Field in the bottom of the second. And Bend have a 2-0 lead on the Yakima Valley Pippins at Yakima County Stadium. That game also in the bottom of the second inning. So after a quick chat, let's see if Engeroth can regain his control. He's at 42 pitches, 27 have crossed the plate for strikes. Tying run is at the plate for Portland. 2 on, 2 down, and time called. Engeroth just going to complete his motion anyway. So we'll roll right back into it. Righty on righty action. Clayton and Dernetti both walked after the first two men were retired in order. 1-0 is a strike on the outside corner, and that's the pitch Angeroff was yanking earlier, and now able to get it up a little higher. He's able to find that spot, so the count even at 1-1. Base hit could give Portland a run, so Angeroff trying to just limit the damage to the two walks. So now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled into the netting, and actually will bounce right back into the field of play. Near the first baseline, and hustling over to grab it is Matt Jew as the count 1-2. Carson Angeroff already with 4 strikeouts today, 1 this inning. Looking to pick up his 5th right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Comes set by the belt, takes a quick look at the batter. The 1-2 swung on and tapped weakly to short. Schwartz is there across the diamond on the hop. Shepard with the pick, and they got him. Jaden Shepard with some more Gold Glove defense over there at first base is able to make the stop on the low throw and put him away for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. Bottom of the third coming up with your Black Bears leading by a trio of runs. The Portland with nothing. Callens coming to bat. You're tuned in to Callens Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Bottom of the third inning, 3 for the Black Bears, none for the Pickles as Cowlitz looking to tack on a few more here. And well, it's a good part of the order for them to do that. Jacob Stinson, Brock Mortensen, and Wilson Weber all coming up there. A combined 2 for 2 today with 3 RBI. First one to Stinson is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Stinson had a base hit with 2 men on back in the first inning, and then he came around to score on the Wilson Weber single. Next one to him on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Stinson 1 hit away from his 9th multi-hit game of the season. He's just been on fire all year long for the Black Bears. As the 1-1 breaking ball is upstairs and in, 2-1, and you can get a quick look inside his mind on how he's been feeling this year if you go on our YouTube page and check out our interview with him after yesterday's loss as he hits one into right for a base hit. So Jacob Stinson has another multi-hit game spoken into existence. That's 9 for him this year. And he leads off with a single. He's 2 for 2 today.
Number 27 from Ventura, California, Brock Mortensen.
So Brock Mortensen up, looking to do more damage. He walked with the bases loaded last time and now trying to do it with the bat. And Stinson's got some speed over there. 4 swipe bags in as many tries. First pitch to Mortensen is golfed in the air, foul on the left side, 0-1. One of Mortensen's 2 home runs came against the Portland Pickles. And that was back on July 8th. He was actually the second batter in the game and went yard to bring in 2 and give Callens an early 2-0 lead. Now they're up 3-0 here. 0-1 count with nobody out. And Marujo checks over on Stinson, and the throw not in time. Now, given the way that Portland tends to operate with their starting pitchers, regardless of what happens, this will probably be his last inning. Has another throw over, not in time. And it's good to see the Black Bears bats get off and running today. They didn't score until the 7th yesterday, and looked pretty sluggish through the first 6. Now it looks like they're awake, alert, and ready for this ball game against the Pickles. And Marujo's 0-1 is high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike as Wilson Weber is waiting in the wings. Good-sized crowd out here today on a Fiber Family Wednesday, brought to you by Fiber Federal Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Cowlitz Black Bears. They have their tent set up over on the left side by the concessions as the 1-1 is ripped but foul. And over by that right field concession area, and now they count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brock Mortensen. And Marujo wants a different baseball as he fires it back into the Cowlitz dugout. We'll see if that makes a difference here against Mortensen now. Stinson about 9 feet off the bag, being held on by Haney. As the 1-2 comes in, and Mortensen skies one to right. Going back kind of towards the corner is Guardino, and that's going to hook foul. He's going to run out of room. As wow, the timing of that sounder was perfect. That glass shattering sound was played as soon as that baseball hit the gravel. That was some expert level work over there. And we do it right here at David Story Field, all aspects of the game. Sound effects, video production, baseball on the field, you name it, we got it. Another throw over. Ooh, it's a good one, but not in time to get Stinson. Haney with an excellent tag there. But the runner's hand just beat him to the bag. Nobody out, 1-2. Coming up against the Black Bears cleanup man. He deals. And it misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marujo not too thrilled with that call. Honestly, that one looked like it crossed the plate perhaps a little high. It definitely ended up outside, though. And now the 1-2. The slide step delivery is a curveball, and he slaps it foul behind home plate, and that's going to clear the grandstand seating. And we'll keep it a 2-2 count. Bottom third, Black Bears 3, Pickles nothing here. And still nobody retired as Jacob Stinson led off the inning with his second base hit of the ball game. And it's 4th in his last 2. Another throw, and another missed tag. And the Black Bears, again, as we mentioned in the beginning, have never beaten Portland in a 3-game series, hoping to get on track to do so with a win today as the 2-2 is fouled away by Mortensen. 4 foul balls by Brock today. Every strike has come off of his bat, as he's also seen 2 pitches go right by, one upstairs and away, and one just outside, but even with the plate, or even with the strike zone. And he sets, throws over to first again. Eric Marujo has really been trying to keep these Black Bears runners close today. And I don't think that's deterred Stinson at all. He's taking the same lead each time, maybe a little bit farther right now. As the 2-2 to Mortensen is cranked, but foul again. Ooh. Right over into the bullpen. So Mortensen really giving a tough time to Marujo now. He'll see at least 8 pitches this at-bat. 7 have already gone in. So now yet another 2-2 pitch on the way. He delivers, and Mortensen grounds one over to second. It's flipped by Dernetti over to the second base bag for 1. On to first. They got him. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And that puts 2 down here in the bottom of the third with Wilson Weber stepping up to the plate.
Now welcome to the plate, our catcher, number 34, out of Gresham.
So not only does Marujo win the battle, he also gets 2 outs for the price of 1. And that was on his 50th pitch. So Weber up now. The base is clear. He's 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI single as he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. That was Marujo's 51st pitch and 31st strike of the evening. 3-0 Black Bears lead as Marujo kicks, fires a curve, and misses upstairs and inside. 1-1. So it seems like Marujo's thrown more pitches, but really just there at 52. That first inning was trouble for him as this is popped up over into straightaway center field. Scoro hustles in on it, calls off his second baseman, and is able to make the grab to send Weber down for the final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are a third of the way through at David Story Field. Heading into the top of the fourth, Black Bears 3, Pickles nothing in Portland coming to bat. You're tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Top of the fourth inning now, and Portland will send up Jew, Guardino, and Mosby as the Black Bears take a 3-0 lead into this frame. Engeroth got into a bit of trouble walking 2 in a row with 2 outs, but then was able to smooth it right out and get Gabe Scoro down as he struck out 4, walked 2 so far today. He's gotten around this middle part of the order fairly well. They're a combined 0 for 3. So let's see if he can do that again as Jew struck out swinging his first time. Right-handed power bat. Huge cog in this lineup as he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Yeah, Jew, Guardino, and Mosby, a really difficult 3 through 5 to navigate, as the 0-1 is tapped and chopped over to short. Schwartz picks it up on a hop. Line drive throw to first, the stretch by Shepard, and the throw's in time. They got him. Schwartz with another connection over with his first baseman, and they get him down on the 6-3 for out number 1.
And now stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 45, Ryan Guardino.
So Ryan Guardino to the plate. Right-handed hitter, very tall, with the high Sox look coming in for him as well. Guardino 6'4", 205 pounds from Woolford College. 0 for 1 today with the fly out to right, and the first pitch is hit over on the right side, but foul, 0-1. Yeah, that's been the place to sit today. Over on that right end, so many foul balls, most of Mortenson's, and now Ryan Guardino's there as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and the 2-seam bites a little too far. Up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike as Engeroth is now on the eve of his 50th pitch. Working quickly, he rocks, fires, and delivers a fastball on the outside corner. Now 1-2 of his 50 pitches, 34 strikes. That's 68%. That's well above his season percentage that sits around 59, so he's having himself a day. And now the 1-2. Swung on and hit and down the left field line for a base hit, maybe more. Bounces off and Radomski with the read on it. Comes up throwing, fires, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Ryan Guardino, the first hit of the ball game for the Pickles. And they're in business now. Runner on second and 1 away.
Now batting the third baseman, number 16, Leo Mosby.
So now here comes Leo Mosby to the plate. 0 for 1 so far today, but against the Black Bears in 5 games this season, he's 5 for 14 with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in, also a walk. That's an average of .357 only against Cowlitz. And the first pitch to him is a strike right down the heart of the plate, 0-1. It's the second time the Pickles have had a runner in scoring position. They're 0 for 1 in those tries. As now the 0-1 is hit in the air over into right field. Shepard giving chase in foul territory, loses his hat, and also runs out of room. So Mosby falls behind now, 0-2. So Angeroth took that no-hit bid, one out into the third inning. Now just looking for regular old outs and hopefully a K against Leo Mosby. Angeroth pitching from the stretch now with the man on second base. Wind really whipping in from left center, right above that Lower Columbia College scoreboard. As the 0-2. Breaking ball came in a little high. And inside as well, so Mosby gets his arms out of the way. It's a 1-2 pitch coming up. Cal's currently enjoying a 3-0 lead. Trying to continue to silence the bats in this Pickles lineup, as the next one from Mosby is hit on the ground and hops over into Bozette's glove, but on foul ground, the third base side. So we will do another 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes he deals, and misses down and away. Good block by Weber. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the top of the fourth with 1 down. Angeroth's been dealing, trying to throw up a 4th consecutive 0 on that scoreboard against this Pickles team, as the 2-2 is a slow chopper, but that's because it went off of Mosby's foot. But Angeroth going to retrieve it anyway. So again, the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. These two teams are really going at it in their last series. A lot of close games, except for that 7-0 Black Bears victory. Otherwise, it took walk-offs by Leo Mosby in both of the games that the Black Bears lost to come around and get a victory. And right now, they're battling in the standings as well. Ben and Cowlitz are tied for 4th in the division with records of 2-2 in the second half, but both of them have 3 games in hand on Portland and the Raptors as well, and 5 games in hand on Corvallis. So the Black Bears can win. They can leapfrog Portland and move on into 3rd place. As now the 2-2 is hit in the air over and to right. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Stopping at 3rd is Guardino. So Mosby just with the single this time, but continues to hurt the Black Bears with another hard liner. And now runners on the corners and 1 down for Evan Leibel.
And now batting the catcher, number 3, Evan Leibel.
I know we could play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game all day long, but taking a look at the North Division right now, Yakima Valley Pippins lead with a record of 4-3. If the Black Bears were in their division, they'd be in 2nd place, as the Sweets are in 2nd with a 3-4 mark. And the Black Bears will play a lot of those North teams moving forward, as Leibel fouls one away, 0-1. Left-handed hitting catcher is 0 for 1 today with a swinging strikeout. Yeah, speaking of the Black Bears' upcoming schedule, after they wrap up the series tomorrow with Portland, they'll head on over to Port Angeles for a 3-game series out there, and then come back home for a day before going back on the road to Yakima Valley for a 3-game set. So a 6-game road trip, as the 0-1 is up and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Black Bears actually have 2 6-game road trips in the second half. The other one will be off in Richfield and then Wenatchee. But Richfield, not really too much of a road trip. It's hop, skip, and a jump down I-5, so nice and easy to get there, and can come back home after the conclusion of each contest. And Leibel's 1-1 is fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Angeroth certainly would like a strikeout here, but a ground ball double play would be even better to ensure he gets out of the 4th with no runs on the board. Mosby is a threat to go. He has 4 stolen bases in 5 tries. He's got a big lead as the 1-2 is grounded and through the hole on the right side for a single. Guardino scores. Coming up throwing is Stinson, and it's an RBI base hit for Evan Leibel. The Pickles are on the board. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Now batting the designated hitter number 35, Daniel Hiroshi.
So now the Black Bears need to stop the bleeding as Daniel Hiroshi steps into the box. Hiroshi is 0 for 1 with a ground out to Schwartz, and Black Bears now hoping to duplicate that outcome this time around as Weber sets up down and in. And the first one from Engeroth is a strike on the outside corner. Misses spot, but able to jump ahead in the count, 0-1. Black Bears fans getting behind their right-hander from Umpqua Community College, as the Salt Lake City native looks to wiggle his way out of this jam. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down, 2 on. As he delivers the next one, and it's grounded over to second, could be 2. Nishida fires over to Schwartz for 1, back over to first. They got him. It's a double play. The 4-6-3 retires the side, and that'll do it in the top of the 4th inning. But the Portland Pickles are able to score 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left to board. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. Black Bears looking to get that run back as they come up to bat. You are tuned in to Black Bears Baseball right here on KEDO and on YouTube. Shaw and Mulcair to lead it off for the Black Bears here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cowlitz 3, Portland 1, as they were able to get one on the board on 3 hits last inning. And now the Black Bears going to try to get that run back with Mulcair, Shepard, Schwartz. 6, 7, and 8, 2 up. Gets another inning from Eric Marujo. So Marujo's longest outing this year has been 3 1/3 innings. And if he gets another out here, he'll tie that one right up. Mulcair 0 for 1, struck out swinging. He last came up back in that 1st inning as the first pitch to him is a swing and a miss on that high and away off-speed pitch, 0-1. Mulcair's had a couple nice games for the Black Bears. He's a pretty solid left-handed bat, can play a few different infield positions. As he hits one in the air over on the left side. This popped up in foul ground and will stay in the ballpark as Mosby ranges over and makes the grab to send him down for the first out of the inning. So 1 batter, 1 out. Here's Jaden Shepard, who's 0 for 1. He lined one hard into right center, but it was ultimately caught by Ryan Guardino. See if he can put on another power display and maybe pull that baseball into left.
He's from Pleasanton, California.
As the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Infielders playing Shepard to pull. Cam Clayton over on the 3rd base side is shortstop, and the second baseman, Kyle Giornetti, is playing fairly close to that second base bag. So a nice gap over between Sam Haney and Kyle Giornetti, the first and second baseman respectively, on that right side as Shepard behind now 0-2 in the count. And the next one to him is downstairs. Nice frame attempt, though, by Leibel. Tried to pull that one up above Shepard's knees, but unfortunately, there's a bit of distance between his shins and his knees. He hits 6'6". As the 1-2 Curveball, he got him. Swing and a miss. Shepard down on strikes as he waves at that upstairs curveball, and it's sent down for the second out of the bottom of the fourth.
And now stepping up the plate for the Black Bears, the shortstop, number 4 out of Spokane, Matthew Schwartz.
Matthew Schwartz up 1-for-1 with a fly out to shallow right. First pitch to him is a curve that slithers a little low below his knees, 1-0. Schwartz with some solid plate discipline, a good line drive hitter. See if he can make something happen with 2 outs as he scoops one into shallow right. Backing up is Haney, who will glove the pop-up and put him away for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left to board as we go to the top of the 5th now at David Story Field. 3-1 Black Bears lead, and the Pickles coming back to bat against Carson Angeroff. You are tuned in to Gallatin's Black Bears Baseball right here on KEDO and on YouTube. And the top of the 5th inning is brought to you by our friends at State Farm over in Longview. Bob Beal and Scott Fisher got your back, and our proud sponsors of the Gallatin's Black Bears. Call Bob at 360-425-5432 and reach Scott Fisher at 360-432-9500 as the first pitch to Sam Haney. And this 3-1 Black Bears lead is a ball, 1-0, as now he hits one hard, and it goes off Shepard's glove. He went down on one knee to try to make the stop, and a tough play as the ball ends up in right field. So Haney gets aboard. He was 0-for-1 prior to that.
And now at the plate, the second baseman, number 15, Kyle Dernetti.
So that officially ruled an error on the first baseman, a rare one from Shepard. So that does not happen often for him. So the first error of the contest for Gallatin as Kyle Dernetti steps up. He is 0-for-0 with the walk and now sees one low, 1-0. We're an hour and 5 minutes into this contest, nearly halfway through. Yesterday's game finished just a touch over 3 hours, which is fairly long for the Black Bears. As the 1-0 is a bunt attempt, pulled back, and that's a ball. It's a missed time. They're going to say Dernetti pulled back in time, so he's ahead now, 2-0. Carson Angeroff only allowed 2 base runners headed into the 4th inning. They gave up 3 hits, and a run came in on that. And now as a runner on first base with nobody out off the error. Another bunt attempt. Ooh, pulled back as Angeroff fired up and in. And the Pickles second baseman just able to duck out of the way now, 3-0. Gallatin's trying to snap a mini 2-game losing streak after winning their first 2 of the second half. As the 3-0 is upstairs, ball 4. So Dernetti getting in base for free for the second time today, as he's walked in back-to-back at-bats. Here comes Cam Clayton, the top of the order.
46, Cam Clayton.
Clayton is 0-for-1 with a walk and a ground out over to Shepard. Now Jaden going to play in on the grass as well as Bozette on the left side. Try to guard against the bunt with 2 on and nobody out. Clayton squared around. Shepard already charging in. The first pitch is a bunt attempt. And now the throw to second. Oh, they got him! What a throw by Wilson Weber as that pitch is strike as well. Sam Haney got way too far off the bag as Weber nails him down. on the 2-6 putout. So now let's see if he still tries to bunt with just a man on first. He does not, and instead lifts it in the air to center. Now drifting to right center with the wind, Jacob Stinson comes over, and he's able to make the grab for the second out. So that throw by Weber was huge because it completely fouled up the Pickles strategy. Instead of moving two guys into scoring position and sacrificing an out, they actually got 2 outs on the board as the runner was caught napping, and now Gabe Scoro comes up with 2 away. Scoro 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a ground out. As the 0-1 is hit in the air to right, but that's going to hook foul and land over there. Count 0-1. So Angroff getting picked up by his defense after the error. And again, that was a tough one over by Shepard. He was down on his knee to try to catch that low liner, and it just tipped off his glove, got into the outfield. As the 0-1 is lined into right center, Stinson runs in and makes the grab to put him away for the final out of the inning. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left aboard, and 1 amazing throw out by Wilson Weber as we go into the bottom of the 5th with the Black Bears leading 3-1. We're halfway through at David Story Field, and the Black Bears will be coming to bat at the bottom of the 5th right here on YouTube and KEDO.
Winner, but we appreciate the enthusiasm over here.
Bottom of the 5th, Black Bears 3, Pickles 1, as Portland going to send out a new arm. It is Elias Farland. So after his longest outing of the season, Eric Marujo is done, and this is what he was able to do against the Black Bears. In 4 innings, Marujo threw 61 pitches, 62.3% for strikes, as 38 crossed the plate. He allowed 3 runs, all earned, on 4 hits, 3 walks, which all came in the first inning, and a trio of strikeouts. So Marujo is out. He can lose but cannot win, as Elias Farland comes on up. This is his 10th appearance for the Pickles. Actually, his 12th if we count non-league games. In 19 2/3 innings, 23 strikeouts, a whip of 1.14, and an ERA of 3.20, as he struggled mightily in his last appearance, only recording 1 out against Corvallis, allowing 3 earned runs on 2 hits and 1 walk. So now Johnny Radomski steps up. He's 0 for 1. It's going to be Radomski, then the top of the Black Bear order. As the first one to him is a swing and a miss at that curveball, 0-1. Farland, a tall drink of water from Washington State University. He's 6'5", 230 pounds. And the right-hander is headed into his sophomore season there for the Cougs. A former teammate of Mickey Thompson, who appeared yesterday for 3 innings for the Black Bears, as Radomski takes a strike now, 0-2. Now the Black Bears pen starting to get warming. That's Michael Benz starting to play some catch with Dawson Martin out there. As the 0-2 is hit in the air over to right field. Guardino battles the sun a little bit, now needs to backpedal, but makes the grab to send Radomski down for the first out of the inning. So now Riku Nishida up. He's 1 for 1. He's walked and doubled, but was unable to really do anything on the base paths as he was caught trying to get third and stretch that double into a triple. Ooh, a little "Let's Go Riku" coming from the stands. You'd love to hear it. Black Bears faithful cheering on their players as Nishida fouls one off his arm, it looked like, and the count 0-1. I was going to say, if that was one of his swinging bunts, he probably could have made it to first over there, as Farland seemed to be caught off guard. Before Farland gave up those 3 earned runs in the last game, he did have a scoreless streak of 3 innings going. So now the 0-1 comes in and misses down and outside to Nishida, 1-1. We also saw Farland against the Black Bears. On July 7th, he went 2 1/3, allowed 1 run on 3 hits and 4 strikeouts. So the Black Bears do have some success against him, as the 1-1 is a breaking ball outside, 2 balls and a strike. Nishida gets on. Super dangerous base runner. And the Black Bears will have some of their heavy hitters coming in and trying to knock him in Bozette and Stinson if they can get there. The 2-1 outside, 3-1. Enrique with a ton of patience at the plate. Can watch a lot go by, even falling behind in the count 0-1 and 0-2. He has such great command of the strike zone and really is the perfect batter at the top of any order, as the 3-1 is spiked, ball 4, and Nishida going to hustle down over to first, forcing Leibel to run after it. And then he slows down as he goes to turn around the bag, and Nishida now on base for the 3rd time today, and it's back-to-back games where he's reached base a trio of times now.
Now batting the third baseman, number 3.
And Riku leading the squad with 10 stolen bases. He's on there with the bullpen arm on the mound, and Brock Bozette at the plate. Bozette 0 for 1. He's walked, and he bunted into an out. First pitch to him is laced but foul over on the right end and out of play. Ooh, actually lands right in the grandstands, and one hops into that home plate club section, and a fan able to pick it up and actually put it right next to her cores over there. All right. So you got a cold one and a souvenir right behind home plate. Not a bad setup she's got going on. And now the 0-1. Bozette hits it almost in the same spot, but this time doesn't clear the screen. Now 0-2. And if you want to be like that lady sitting behind home plate and come on out to a Black Bears game, they are playing tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. The final game of this 3-game set against the Pickles, and you can get your tickets to that on CowlittsBlackBears.com. And Bozette calls time before the 0-2. And double taps the plate. He's ready to go against Farland. Pitching exclusively from the stretch. He checks over on Nishida, who hops back a little bit towards the bag. As the 0-2 on the way, and the fastball runs too far in near his hands. 1-2. So Benz has stopped warming. This probably means that he's completely warmed up, unless they want to go back to Angeroth for the 6th inning. As the runner was going, but Bozette just tagged one foul, 1-2. So let's see if they send Nishida again over from first base, being held on. Farland is not thrown over to check on him, as he does not go, and once again, Bozette able to foul it back in and out of the glove of Leibel this time, so Brock will live to find another pitch. And he usually doesn't work too many long at-bats. A lot of the pitch counts he ends up against, or going up with, end up somewhere between the 1 and 5 range. He has only gone to a 6-pitch at-bat 8 times this year. Or my mistake, 10 times, but still not as many. He has 28 one-pitch at-bats, for contrast. So likes the swing of that first pitch. So Nishida dancing around over there, and Farland perhaps picked the worst time to throw there, as Nishida was already on his way back to the bag anyway. But Riku doing his job, and something that he does so well, and gets inside that pitcher's head. He makes you remember that he's on the base paths, that's for sure. And the 1-2. Bozette grounds it over to third. Could be 2. Mosby fires the second for 1 over to first. Bozette! Oh, he's down for a double play. Looked like Brock had a chance to beat it out, but he was caught by about half a step and is sent down for the final out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left to board. Top of the sixth coming at you here on YouTube and KDO. The Black Bears leading 3-1 right here on your homes for Cowlitz Black Bears baseball. We'll be right back. Top of the sixth inning. Talking about some potential future beach plans up here in the booth as Carson Angeroff looks to keep the Pickles offense stuck in the mud as he deals the first one to Matt Jew off the outside corner, 1-0. So Ben's back up and warming as they're at least going to start this inning off with Angeroff on the mound. Jew, Guardino, Mosby as the Black Bears lead at 3-1 as Jew hits one on the screws but foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting left fielder. Jew threw out Riku Nishida trying to get to third base and still looking to find it offensively this series as that next one was off the plate, 2-1. In yesterday's game, Jew held to 0 for 3 but did reach base 3 times, walked twice, and reached on an error. So he fouls one back, 2-2. Jew actually had an 8-game hitting streak snapped the game before they came to Cowlitz. And now he's on a 2-game hitless streak and could extend to 3 if the Black Bears are able to figure him out again today. Now a 3-2 from Angeroff is high and tight, ball 4. So, well, Jew's at least gotten on base for his squad and will reach first on a base on balls as there's now 1 on. And Ryan Guardino coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a flyout and a double.
The right fielder, number 45, Ryan Guardino.
Hoping for a ground ball from him today. They have not gotten it. It is scorching liner over down the third base line for a base hit earlier in today. And Guardino eventually came around to score after that as the first pitch from Angeroff is high and outside, 1-0. Just a 2-run lead, and Guardino is the tying run at the plate right now. Trying to get Angeroff to go through 6 here. It's the 1-0. Is right down the pipeline for a strike, 1-1. Good pitch there from him. Actually froze Guardino a little bit. It looks like he might have been sitting something else. Jew being held on by Shepard at first base. Keeping his right foot on the bag. As the 1-1, he squares around a bunt, and that one's going to go foul as that hit him in the box. And now the count 0-2. So Guardino looking to move him over with nobody out, but now in danger of striking out or even knocking into a double play as Angeroff probably going to hit him up with that breaking ball coming in. Lights are now on at David Story Field, but the sun's still shining, so we got our natural lighting coming in at Lower Columbia. And now we'll take a look at Angeroff's 1-2. Breaking ball is swatted and twisted foul on the right side and just into that grandstand seating. Right behind a quartet of fans. Let's see who goes and gets it. Oh, yeah, of course the guy in the end seat. He's got the shortest route. Oh, but he's the most stylish of the 4. With not 1, but 2 pieces of Cowlitz Black Bears gear. He's got the sweatshirt He's got the black cap. Great look. 1-2. Popped up on the left side. Bozette looks like he's calling everybody off. Now it's to run in on it. All sorts of wind, and it goes out of his glove. Still has a play at second as he shuffles into Sheeta. So Bozette at least able to salvage the play. That was a crazy pop-up. Whipping around all over the place, but, you know, Bozette will take that little 5-4 fielder's choice, and Guardino's down for out number 1. So 5-4 fielder's choice as Leo Mosby up. He's 1 for 2 with a ground out and a base hit. Checks his swing at the down and outside offering. But the pitch was no good, 1-0. Vangroff can get through here with a nice ground ball double play. He'll have gone 6 and at least 6 for a second consecutive outing. Now the 1-0. Down and out, 2 balls and no strikes to Mosby. I'll tell you what, if I'm Angroth here, I'd probably stay down and away to Mosby too. The way he's been hitting the ball, especially against the Black Bears. Can't give him too many options, although he did hit his home run over to right field in yesterday's game. Now they throw over to first, and that's not in time. So Guardino will go back. The Pickles essentially swap Jew for Guardino on the base paths after that last play. And Engeroth slide step delivery is high, 3-0. So 3-0. Again, against a guy that's as hot as Mosby, it's not the worst thing in the world to put him on for free. You can't give him a meatball down the heart of the plate because he might punish it. As the 3-0 is high, ball 4. So Engeroth walks his 5th batter of the evening and sends up Evan Leibel with a chance to tie the ball game. 2 men on, 1 out. And Leibel did not get a run his last trip.
And now batting the catcher,
does have a run batted in, but Brian Burris headed out to the mound, so that means that it'll be it for Carson Engeroth as Michael Benz hustling in from the bullpen, and he'll take over on the other side of this break here. The top of the 6th, 1 out. Black Bears 3, Pickles 1. As we step aside, a call to the bullpen right here on YouTube and KEDO. Oh, Jacob, can this be a 2-minute break, by the way? And Michael Ben's going to take over for the Black Bears. The 2 runners on base are the responsibility of Carson Engeroth, so we can't close the book on him just yet. As Ben's having himself one sensational season for the Black Bears. This is his 16th appearance that leads the team. He's 3-3 with 2 saves, a 2.22 ERA, and 24 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 21 to 7 walks and 19 hits, pitching to a 1.26 whip as he kicks, fires the first one, and it's lined right at Bozette, who catches it just an inch above the ground. Oh, what a play by Brock Bozette to send him away for the first out, or rather the first out of Ben's tenure, the second out of the inning.
Hitter number 35, Daniel Hiroshi.
Plays like that are what make Bozette one of the best players in this league. Spectacular glove, a menacing presence at the plate. He can do it all. Also a very positive guy in the dugout as well, as Benz delivers, and it 5 holes Weber, but he's able to scoop it up 1-0 as Daniel Hiroshi comes into the box. He's 0 for 2. Benz has been great this season, but in his last outing against Portland, allowed that 3-run home run to Leo Mosby in that first game back on July 6th, but hasn't given up a run since then. 1 scoreless against Ridgefield in a win, and 1 scoreless against Yakima Valley in a victory as well, as Benz falls behind now 2-0. He's got a 2.84 league ERA, but 2.22 overall, including 4 non-league appearances. As Benz's 2-0 is hit off the handle of the bat and foul over on the Cowlitz Black Bears on deck circle, so now a 2-1 forthcoming. 3-1 Black Bears lead here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. The Black Bears with 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base in the game. Portland with 3 hits, no errors, and 4 left aboard. The Black Bears looking to make that final number a 6 now. Benz pumps his leg twice before delivering the 2-1, and this is hit in the air over on the right side. Will hook foul, and Stinson will run out of room. So now Benz ready to go with a 2-2 count as the base runners will retreat. An important scoreless inning here for the Black Bears if they can get it against Portland, as they'll be able to start the next inning with 8-9-1. More than likely with Benz back on the mound. They have to get Hiroshi out here, as the 2-2 is upstairs. Cannot get him to chase as Hiroshi watches that fastball the whole way. And now the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ben, 6 foot, 200 pounds, from Sonoma State University, from Corte Madera, California. And steps off, turns around, and checks on both base runners. Just probably needs an extra second to contemplate this important 3-2 offering. On deck, Sam Haney, the first baseman, the left-hander. And the payoff. Swung on and skied into left in foul ground, and that's going to clear the bleachers. So we'll do it all over again as Hiroshi now working himself a 5-pitch at-bat. Whether at home, on the road, or just for whatever reason can't turn into the ball game, or just want more Black Bears content after the game or before the game, you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook and Twitter at Cowlitz Black Bear, or Facebook and Instagram at Cowlitz Black Bears, and on Twitter at Cowlitz B Bears. And Twitter account, you'll get lineup graphics, in-game score updates, and also some bonus content here and there. As another payoff is up and in, and Benz's curve slipped right out of his hand, hits him on the shoulder, and now loads the bases with 2 outs. And Sam Haney coming up to the plate.
And now batting the first baseman, number 34.
So Haney with a chance to tie this ball game and more. It's a fresh count to him with 2 down. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he also reached on an error by Jaden Shepard. As Benz fires the first one, and it's popped foul, 0-1. That's exactly how Benz needed to start off this plate appearance against Haney. Getting ahead, now he can do a little bit more what he wants with his pitches. Doesn't have to leave everything over the plate, though will still more than likely throw strikes. So that's what Benz is wont to do. So the 0-1 is right on the outside corner. A gorgeous pitch. Breaking away from Haney, and now the count 0-2. Pivotal moment in this ball game. Top 6, 2 down. Black Bears up by 2, bases loaded. Haney at the plate with an 0-2 count. Benz with his patented lean back as he gets the signs and looks at a few too many, but he doesn't flinch off the mound. He just stays on the rubber the whole time. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball inside. So Haney will live to fight again. 10 pitches for Benz, and 5 of them have gone across for strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Benz steals, curveball, and foul into the bleachers. And that's going to slinky its way all the way down to the bottom. Picked up by a young fan and his friend. The young fan had his Russell Wilson jersey on. Also was carrying a box of pizza, so great day for him. Free pizza and a baseball. So another 1-2 on the way from Benz. Went curveball back-to-back times and goes fastball this time as it's a grounder to second. Vacuumed by Nishida, who's automatic, fires to first and puts him away for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears bend but do not break. I should say bends but do not break. They give up no runs in the inning on no hits, no errors, and 3 left to board. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Black Bears looking to extend their 3-1 lead as they come to bat right here on YouTube and KEDO, Longview, Kelso, 99.1 FM, 1400 AM. We'll be right back. We are now in the bottom of the 6th inning here at David Story Field, and we're so happy that you've come and joined us here, whether you're over the air or online on YouTube or KDO or KDO2AM.com. Hope that you're enjoying your evening of Black Bears baseball. They lead at 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th as Tommy Snyder coming in to make his 12th appearance of the season for the Portland Pickles. Jacob Stinson to lead it off. He's 2 for 2, and the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Stinson now with multi-hit games and back-to-back contests. He had a 4-game streak of such a situation earlier on in the season as he takes the curve down and outside. Snyder 0-2 in 11 appearances, 1 start. He has a 4.04 ERA in 14 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 13 hits allowed. He has a whip of 1.33. And Stinson twists one foul, 1-2. However, his league ERA
look alive, folks. Foul balls everywhere.
is a 5 ERA in 9 innings. But he did go a shutout frame against Corvallis. His last time as Stinson takes one inside, and he's rung up by home plate umpire Andrew Mervin and sent down for the first out of the inning.
And now batting the center fielder number 27.
And now Brock Mortensen to come up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out today. Snyder, a lefty from Pacific Lutheran University, 6'1", 185 pounds, deals to Mortensen, down and in for a strike. That's a tough pitch to get your eyes on as a lefty, as that's a real downhill offering. And just pounding that inside corner. Looks like it's going to go down a little more, as now switches arm slots and gets him to swing and miss at the outside pitch, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Next one to Mortensen. Breaking ball. He rolls over it, over to the first baseman. Picked up by Haney with some momentum as he races over and taps the bag to send him away for out number 2. So 2 batters, 2 outs, both lefties. But now Snyder will face a right-hander in Wilson Weber. He's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single and a flyout.
Wilson Weber.
And the first one to Weber is inside 1-0. And to the future Oregon State catcher. He gets a foul ball over on the right side, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Weber's got plenty of chances to see his new home ballpark, as the Black Bears have been to Goss Stadium 4 times this season. It's the most they've been to any road ballpark, and that'll get tied with Ridgefield once they head there for a 3-game set. Next one, Mr. Weber outside, count now 2-1. It's 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Black Bears holding on to a 2-run lead as Wilson hits one in the air and foul on the right side yet again, 2-2. Trying to keep the offensive frame alive for the Black Bears. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty. Weber has fouled a couple of tough pitches off as Snyder deals and misses inside as the entire Pickles defense went to run off the field, but home plate umpire says no dice, so they'll do it all over again. The umpire actually goes out on home plate to show the catcher exactly where that ball was. Now a big payoff pitch coming in. Kicks, fires. Snyder gets a tapper ground ball. That goes foul and will be retrieved by, I don't know, they're thinking about getting it to Jace Bailey, who looks like he's going to pinch hit for Mulcair. As Weber takes one, ball 4. So instead of the Pickles defense walking off the field, Wilson Weber will walk on over to first base as Sean Mulcair going to be pinch hit for by switch hitter Jace Bailey.
And now pinch hitting for the Black Bears. Number 12, he's from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Chase Bailey.
Mulcair was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And now they'll go with Bailey, who's hitting 143, 7 hits and 49 at-bats. Has 4 walks, a double, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. He also has a 218 on base and a 224 slugging, as the first pitch to him is down and inside for a ball, 1-0. Bailey, one of the many Black Bear players that have been trying to convince me to go visit Idaho one day. I've never been. And he was just waxing poetically about Coeur d'Alene and how amazing it is. And between him and Queso Gada's family, I might have to make my way out there, although Queso Gada's family want me to go to Boise. And yes, I'm saying Boise. I've been told that's the correct way. As Bailey punches one over into right, and that's going to drop down near the foul line for a base hit. Getting to third is Wilson Weber. He'll stop there. It's a 2-out base hit of the pinch hit variety for Jace Bailey. And now the Black Bears with runners on the corners, 2 down, and Jaden Shepard to the plate. So Brian Burris pushing the right button there. As Cowlitz have a potential 4th run, just 90 feet from home. Shepard, though, 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a lineout. This could prove a little tough here for Tommy Snyder, the lefty with that funky delivery, against a power-hitting right-hander. And now time called, and long walk to the mound coming in. As they're going to strategize with Snyder, there is a right-hander getting warm in the Portland bullpen. And Mag's going to take him out of the ball game, so that'll do it for Snyder. They're going to play the matchup game and send a right-hander against Shepard, and we'll step aside here. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Black Bears 3, Pickles 1 with runners on the corners. So Black Bears look to extend their lead right here on YouTube and KEDO. We'll be right back. Bottom 6, 2 down as it's become a battle of the bullpens between these two sides. Nate Leibold coming in for the Pickles, but the runners on base still Tommy Snyder's responsibility as he got the first 2 down in order before walking Wilson Weber and allowing a hit to Jace Bailey. So Jaden Shepard to the plate, 0 for 2 with a lineout and a strikeout. Leibold, 6'3", 200 pounds, righty from UCLA, will be a teammate of Kelly Austin's this upcoming season. And the right-hander fires a curve on the outside for a strike 0-1. Including non-league games, this is Leibold's 6th appearance. He's thrown 4 innings, struck out 8, walked 2, allowed 5 hits, and has a league whip of 2.33 with a 6 ERA as this hit hard. Oh, and it's booted by Clayton. That'll go into left, and a run driven in by Jaden Shepard. First error of the game for the Portland Pickles. As now the Black Bears re-extend their lead to 3. It's 4-1.
And now batting the shortstop, number 4, Matthew Schwartz.
So a hard hit grounder. Again, good things happen when you put the ball in play. Shepard may not get the RBI, but he does bring the run in to score, so ultimately does his job. As now the first one to Schwartz is a strike 0-1. So that run going to be charged over to Snyder. As Leibold allows an inherited runner to come on in. 4-1 now. Black Bears lead. They scored twice in the ball game. 2 different innings. Ooh, that one rings right off of one of the poles there. Holding up the netting behind home plate, and now the count 0-2. They've hit the poles quite a few times, but that was the most solid ring that we've heard all season. Bailey on second, Shepard on first, Matthew Schwartz at the plate. 2 down. And the 0-2. Swing and a missed strike 3 as Leibold loses his hat, but gets the out he was looking for as the Black Bears finally sent down, but not after. They score 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and leave 2 aboard. But top of the 7th coming up. Michael Ben's out for another inning as the Black Bears try to hang on to this 3-run lead. You're tuning in to College Black Bears baseball right here on YouTube and on KEDO.
One lucky random winner.
Black Bears lead it by 3, 4-1 in the top of the 7th as Kyle Giannetti, Cam Clayton, and Gabe Scoro will get their first looks of this game against Michael Benz, who was able to help the Black Bears get out of a bit of trouble. Giannetti walked twice against Angeroth, so let's see if Benz can find a way around him here. As the first one is a check swing, but a strike anyway, count 0-1. Cowlitz right now on their way for beating the Pickles for the second time this season. But certainly have to hang on. They have the bullpen tools to do it. As Benz again paints that outside edge, 0-2. Up next will be Keegan Wright, and then you imagine they close it out with James Bradwell if all goes according to script. As the 0-2 slider, he got him, strike 3. Kyle Giannetti caught window shopping on that outside corner and sent down for the first out of the inning. Benz's 22nd strikeout of the season out of the bullpen as Cam Clayton.
46, Cam Clayton.
Is up there. And it looks like Portland's dugout got a quick warning. Now, last time these two teams played, Mark Magdaleno, I always just call him Mags. Mark Magdaleno did get ejected from a game the last time these two teams met. So Andrew Mervin warning that dugout after they probably were arguing about the call as Benz tries the slider inside this time but misses 1-0. And again, important divisional games right now for Cowlitz as Benz delivers a fastball, strike 1-1. They only get 6 of them in the second half, 3 against Portland and 3 against Ridgefield, and they already dropped the first against the Pickles. It's the 1-1, check the swing, and they call it anyway. Nice looking slider by Benz, ahead 1-2. And the rest of the games will be against the North Division, who haven't played as well, but the Black Bears, these 6 against Portland and Ridgefield, certainly more important in terms of upward mobility. This is grounded hard and stopped by Schwartz on the sliding stop. He fires to first and got him! Matthew Schwartz taking advantage of the home turf a little bit. He knows how to play that shortstop position here. And makes a highlight play on the 6-3 to steal a hit away from Cam Clayton and put him down for the second out of the inning. Schwartz, of course, plays right here at LCC, so knows exactly how this field plays and, well, is able to take full advantage here. Now Gabe Scoro to the plate, takes a first pitch slider right down the heart, 0-1. Scoro 0 for 3, ground out, line out, strikeout. Next one from Benz, hit in the air to left center field. Mortensen hustling in, but Radomski going to beat him to it as he's sent down for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. A 1-2-3 for Benz as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch time here in David Shore as the Black Bears lead at 4-1, looking for more in the bottom of the 7th inning. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Another inning now for Nate Leibold, and he'll face off against Johnny Radomski, Riku Nishida, Brock Bozette, as we get rolling in the bottom of the 7th inning, with the Black Bears leading 4-1 on their South Division rival Portland Pickles. Black Bears were able to bring a run in, and all the damage done with 2 outs as Wilson Weber walked, Jace Bailey got a hit, and Jaden Shepard hit a scorching ground ball right at the shortstop, and Cam Clayton couldn't handle it. It was an error for him as a run came on in to score. So Radomski takes a ball down and out to begin this inning. Count 1-0. And the next one from the right-hander misses. No, clips that inside corner. It's taken, though, by Radomski, and we'll even it out at 1-1. Johnny is 0 for 2 today with a fly out to right field and a strikeout swinging. Made some nice catches out there and left as well. As the 1-1 after the big kick and delivery is a strike on the outside corner. Good downhill fastball from Leibold. Moves the count to 1-2 with Riku Nishida waiting on deck. So the Black Bears bats have come on out and awoken today. They've brought 4. And in today's game, as Radomski swings and misses that one in the dirt. He can make a quick throw over to first after the ball was dropped and send him down. For out number 1 as Riku Nishida make himself comfortable over in that batter's box, but not before Max comes in to pull Leibold, it looks like, as another arm coming in from the Portland bullpen. So that'll be it for Nate Leibold, as he hasn't taken the ball from him yet, but the pitcher is running in from the bullpen. And we'll see if maybe he has to go back. They are bringing in a lefty, but so far they're still having a chat with Leibold, so the whole defense is involved inside, the entire infield defense. And in the meantime, we can give you Tommy Snyder's line for today. So Tommy Snyder went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 1 unearned run on 1 hit and 1 strikeout. And now they will, in fact, make the change. So we'll step aside now. Bottom of the 7th, 1 down. Black Bears 4, Pickles 1 on YouTube and KEDO. All right, another 2 minutes, please, Jacob. Thank you. Now in relief is Chris Batosh, a left-hander from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He is 6'2", 190 pounds. And before we get into his numbers, we will close the book on Leibold, who came in and tossed 2 outs of relief, so 2/3 of an inning. Threw just 9 pitches, 8 for strikes, struck out 2. And that's it. But also did allow that reach on an error as that hard contact by Shepard brought in a run. So Riku Nishida will be the first to get a look at Batosh, who is 1-1. And now his 12th appearance, 13 2/3 innings, 15 strikeouts, 5 walks, 5 hits, a whip of .68 for him, an ERA of .66 as the first offering to Nishida. Misses away 1-0. Riku, perfect at the plate today. A couple of walks and a double, so 1 for 1. Riku prepared for the next one from Betosh, who they send in for the platoon advantage against Riku. As he squares around, pulls back, but it's a strike anyway, 1-1. Trying to catch Mosby napping over there. As now he is all the way in on the grass-colored turf on their left side. 1-1 on the way to Nishida, who punches one way hard and foul and just above the Black Bears on deck circle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riku. Betosh throwing hard out there. I'd love to see the numbers on him. Really brings that ball in quickly. As the 1-2 is up and inside. Nishida hits the deck and is able to get out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Betosh has not allowed a run in his last 2 innings pitched, and both of them came against Corvallis as Nishida takes one upstairs. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And July 18th, he won an inning and struck 1 out, and they won before that against Corvallis. Won an inning, walked 1, no strikeouts, and 1 hit. As now a big payoff pitch coming up to Riku as he deals and misses up and in, ball 4. And yet another walk by Riku Nishida today. He's now been on base 6 times in the last 2 ball games. Here's a man that's also walked today. Here's Brock Bozette, who's 0 for 2. Couple of ground outs and a walk.
Brock Bozette.
So Brock looking to hit the ball hard somewhere. Nishida, well, you certainly know he's going to start playing some mind games over with the pitcher. As the first one to Bozette is high and outside, 1-0. And the Pickles, as they usually do, piecing this game together, but I've already now used 5 pitchers. I guess you can do that when you've got, I think they have either between 27 or 30 arms on their roster. So, yeah, I guess that's how they're able to get away with it as they miss up and into Bozette now, 2-0. Jacob Stinson, who has 40% of the team's hits today, is on deck. So 2-0 now coming up from the left-hander Betosh as he fires and gets a pop-up by Bozette over on the right side, but that'll be a souvenir. Leaves the field to play, 1 strike. And now 2 balls against Brock Bozette as James Bradwell just made a quick run back and forth from the Cowlitz dugout. So Wright has stopped warming. I wonder if they'll stick with Benz for 1 more frame and save Keegan for tomorrow. As the 2-1 is low and inside for a ball. The runner goes, and Nishida in there easily. Stolen base number 11 for him. As he slid in there, takes his helmet off. It looks like he might have slid right into the body of Kyle Dernetti. And Riku may have hit his forehead right on his knee, but, you know, that's why they make you keep your helmet on while you're running the bases. So Nishida shakes it off, and he's good to go. Three balls, 1 strike. To Bozette with the runner in scoring position. So Riku dances around the bag. The 3-1 is low, ball 4. So Bozette will walk for the second time today. Essentially negating the stolen base, but still will help pad Nishida. Stat line, that's for sure, as Jacob Stinson comes back up with more chances to do damage. Stinson, 2 for 3, a pair of base hits and a strikeout today. This is why Betosh is in there, as when he entered, 3 of the next 4 batters were going to be left-handers, and Stinson now the second of that trio. First one to him, squares around, pulls back as the pitch missed down and outside, 1-0. Stinson from the University of Nevada, Reno. He and Dawson Martin came in. They were in the first Bend series, and both have made such a huge impact on this squad. Stinson, though, particularly on the offensive end. As Nishida going all over the place at second. Next point to Stinson is outside, 2-0. So Bejtosh has entered the game and really has not had his best command. Of his 13 pitches, only 3 have crossed the plate for strikes. 2 flat-out fast base runners on for the Black Bears. It's the 2-0. This is 3-0. And now, Portland in a similar situation they were in the bottom of the first inning. Walking a couple of guys and now way behind on Stinson. Except this time the Black Bears already have that 3-run lead. As the 3-0 is a strike on the outside corner. Goes with the fastball there, 3-1, Brock Mortensen. A menacing presence waiting in the wings on deck. And the 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4, so Stinson works a walk. He's on base 3 times today. And now the Black Bears have him loaded for Brock Mortensen. We got another meeting coming in. As Portland have somebody throwing in the bullpen, he's still got a sweatshirt on though. And they'll have another talk as we'll go around the West Coast League yet again here and give you some scores from all around the states of Oregon and Washington. The Wenatchee Apple Sox now trail the Walla Walla Sweets 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th. That's over at Burlesque Stadium. The Richfield Raptors are running away against Port Angeles. They lead at 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning at Civic Field. And now in the bottom of the 6th, Bend and Yakima Valley in a good one at Yakima County Stadium as they are all wrapped up at 5. And the deliberation has dispersed, and they're ready to take on Mortensen. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a pair of groundouts to the right side.
And now stepping up to the plate, the center fielder number 27. Put your hands together for Brock Mortensen.
So now Mortensen taps the plate, and he's ready to go. Wide open stance for the lefty. So Wilson Weber is on deck. Black Bears would like to add at least one more this inning as the first one to Mortensen is crushed up the middle on a line and will drop for a base hit. Here comes Nishida. He will score. Bozette will stop at third. It's an RBI single for Brock Mortensen. And the Black Bears continue to extend the lead now. It's 5-1. So Mortensen taking that fastball exactly in the spot that the pitcher gave it to him. Sends it right back up the middle. Scoro couldn't get in on it in time, and now the bases stay loaded for Wilson Weber.
Catcher number 34, Wilson Weber.
Weber's 1 for 2 with a walk and a flyout. First one to him is a chopper foul on the left side, 0-1. Jace Bailey, the new DH, might get to come up in back-to-back innings. So now the Black Bears scored in back-to-back innings. And for the first time since the bottom of the first inning, as Guardino hustles in and makes a diving catch, but Weber will not get a run anyway, as Brock Bozette will come in and score on the sac fly. And the Black Bears continue to tally on. It is a 6-1 game. Man, and that's a shame for Weber because that ball, though, was hit really hard, and it seemed like that was going to go for extra bases, but Guardino able to make a wonderful catch on that ball sliding in as Bailey 1 for 1 comes on in there. Bailey hit one the other way. Most of his hits have gone to that side, regardless of whether he's been batting right-handed or left-handed. So now they look back and nothing doing. Bejtosh still ready to go. Another look back. Stinson over there. Mortensen, both fast runners. as this fouled away by Bailey, 0-1. So Cowlitz now with the largest lead of their homestand so far, actually tied for the largest lead of the homestand as they won 5-0 against Yakima Valley in the first game. Back on Friday as the 0-1 comes in, breaking ball misses high to Bailey, 1-1. Jace headed to the University of Utah after season's end after a tenure at Boise State. Of course, that program had been cut, so 3 Black Bears actually relocated. Maddie Fung going to UC Davis, and Case Ogata already made the change, went over to Utah Valley as Bailey fouls one again and now falls behind 1-2. So Baytosh really for the first time this season getting hit hard. So last time he gave up 2 runs came on July 13th, but only 1 was earned. This time both of them were earned. And the 1-2 on the way with 2 down is low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Black Bears designated hitter. Well, make sure you come on out to the ballpark tomorrow night in the final game of this 3-game series between the Black Bears and the Pickles, as the gates will open at 5:30 and the game starts at 6:35 as a dive by Mosby actually cuts off Clayton and will allow the ball to go into the outfield. Scoring is Stinson with some heads-up base running, and Jace Bailey knocks in another. It's a 7-1 Black Bears lead as that officially ruled a hit. So some poor communication that time on that play as Cam Clayton was ready to scoop that up, but Leo Mosby jumped the gun a bit and slid in front of the ball. It bounced off of his body and into left. That allowed Stinson to score. Yeah, and if you want to see more plays like that in person, also big hits, great pitching, you can get your tickets to tomorrow's game at CowlitzBlackBears.com as Shepard takes one in 1-0. Jaden 0 for 3, but did bring in a run after a smoked grounder to shortstop. Induced an error and allowed a runner to come in to score. Now the 0-1 is hit on a line, and that'll go into right for a base hit. They're going to send Mortensen home. Here comes Guardino up throwing, not nearly in time, and Jaden Shepard does get the RBI single he was looking for last time. As the Black Bears really running away now, it is 8-1.
And on we go. Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop number 4, Matthew.
And fans, the
Schwartz.
last 2 runs to come in came with 2 outs. So now Schwartz up 0 for 3, pair of flyouts and a strikeout swinging. First one to him is low for a ball, 1-0. So Cowlitz really struggling with runners in scoring position. That's been a storyline rather, this year. Came into the game hitting just 192 in those spots, but today, as a group, hitting 500. They are 5 for 10. And Schwartz takes one. And the count now 2-0 to him. Black Bears now with 8 runs on 8 hits today. Bats really mashing on a nice, cool, crisp. Cool, crisp. But there we go. Summer evening here at Lower Columbia College. Shepard with a big lead. The 2-0 is a high chopper. Going to be tough for Mosby. Plucks it out of the air, fires low to first, and it's picked by Haney, who puts him down for the final out of the inning. But the Cowlitz Black Bears explode for 4 runs in the inning on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning. Black Bears up by 7, and the Pickles coming to bat. You're tuned in to Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Mark Wanarovich to the bump for the Black Bears in the top of the 8th inning. Black Bears 8 and the Pickles 1. So that means the day is done for our good friend Michael Benz, who went 1 2/3 scoreless out of the pen. Also got out of a jam as he stranded a base runner aboard, an inherited base runner. Actually stranded 2 base runners that he inherited. He struck out 1 and did not allow a hit nor a walk, so it was perfect through his 5 outs as Matt Jew to lead things off. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a walk, and a ground out. So the Black Bears now up by 7 against Portland. They did have a win by 7 runs against this team back on July 7th. As it's hit hard but foul by Jew on the right side, 0-1. So as things currently stand, in line for the win is Carson Angeroth, who would be his 2nd of the season. But the Black Bears still have to get 6 more outs. As Jew scorches one, and that's through the hole on the right side for a base hit. So Jew halts a 2-game hitless streak and picks up 1 here in the top of the 8th. That's Ryan Guardino will come on up.
Now batting the right fielder, number 45, Ryan Guardino.
Guardino 1 for 3, a flyout, a double, and a ground ball into a fielder's choice for him. And the first one from Wanarovich is high and tight for a ball, 1-0. Wanarovich, 6'2", 195 pounds from Cal State East Bay from Yorba Linda, California. Now making his 15th appearance of the season. He's 1-0 with a 3.63 ERA. In 17 1/3 innings pitched, he struck out 21, walked 9, and allowed 13 hits. As the strike comes in, even now at 1-1. Mark's also got a league whip of 1.12 and an ERA of 3.63 on him. As the 1-1 breaking ball popped up and fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting at right fielder Guardino. And Wanarovich actually on quite the streak. He's now gone 8 consecutive outings without allowing a run. Last time he let him in across home plate was June 25th against Bend. That was a home series as he misses high and in now, 2 balls and 1 strike. That's 10 consecutive scoreless innings for him. And the 2-1. Foul tipped into Weber's mitt. And we'll even it out at 2-2. No, it was strike 3. All right, so I guess we had the count wrong. So there must have been a strike in there somewhere.
Now batting the third baseman, number 16, Leo Mosby.
So 1 down now, Mosby at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a ground out, a base hit, and a walk. Again, continuing to just mash the Black Bears. First one to him, curveball in there for a strike at the upper part of the plate, 0-1. So the Black Bears today, not as, it's odd. They haven't struck out as many batters today, actually only striking out 6 Pickles, but they've held them to 1 run. In yesterday's game, they struck him out 14 times, but allowed 8 runs, so go figure. As Mosby slices one back now, 0-2. So Wanarovich firmly in the driver's seat. He actually has 5 strikeouts in his last 2 innings on the mound. Now he has 6 in his last 2 1/3. As the 0-2 pitch now is hit in the air to shallow left. Radomski hustling in on his high horse and calls off Bozette and Schwartz to make the grab for out number 2. What a hustle by Johnny Radomski out there in left. He's played really well out there today as Evan Leibel comes up.
For the Pickles, the catcher, number 3, Evan Leibel.
Leibel 1 for 3, a line out, a base hit, and strikeout. This last time up, hit one right on the screws, but Brock Bozette was able to turn the glove around on it and make the grab on the backhand as Wanarovich fires, and Leibel squared around to bunt but pulls it back 1-0. Now, although the Black Bears are 5-11 all-time against the Pickles, they have won exactly 2 games against them each and every season, but they never came in the same series. So if the Black Bears could put this one away today, they'll have a chance for a rubber match tomorrow and an opportunity to beat them in the series for the first time ever. As now Mark has missed with 3 consecutive pitches and falls behind 3-0 to Evan Leibel. Looks like a pinch hitter coming up on deck. And that's Jacob Jablonski, a lefty. 3-0. And there's a strike at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike as Wanarovich will try to dig his way back in. Now, Mark One's certainly, again, known for throwing strikes for the Black Bears, 63.6%. And in 3-1 counts, in all 7 times, he has thrown a strike and make him 8 for 8. Count full now, 3-2. And in full counts, he's been in them 24 times. He's thrown a strike 62.5%. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 1 man on first base. And he deals. Swung on and laced foul, and that'll land out of play over by the concession area in left field. So we'll do the payoff all over again. Black Bears currently 2.5 games out of first place here in the second half with a 2-2 record. Trying to jump back above 500 here. Still need 4 more outs to do it without allowing 7 runs. As the runner goes in this line right at Nishida, who catches it at the shins for the final out of the inning. What can't this man do? No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Black Bears lead it by 7, and we'll come back up to bat here. And you can catch all the action right here on KEDO and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's Sweet Caroline time for the Cowlitz Black Bears and their fans here. Oh, it's our on-field host, Jaden, singing the song as he's coming over to the press box. I mean, who isn't right now? Very catchy tune. As the Black Bears have been catching all kinds of great pitches today. As they lead it 8-0 in the bottom of the 8th up on the Pickles, or rather 8-1, my mistake. Johnny Radomski, Riku Nishida, and Brock Posette due up against a new arm and KJ Rufo. So that is it for Baytosh. As Baytosh went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 4 runs, all earned. That's more runs than he allowed all season. On 3 hits and 3 walks through 29 pitches, only 12 strikes. That's 41.4%. As Rufo will step in, should be a familiar face for some of these Black Bears. Teammates with Sean Mulcair, Henry Mensch, and Liam Hatakanaki. He's from the University of Portland, 6'2", 190 pounds, and he's 0-0 on the season. This will be his 8th game. He's got a couple of saves, but does have a 12.60 ERA in 5 innings, 5 strikeouts in there as well. 7 walks and 3 hits for him as he's pitching to a whip of 2.00.
And now up to the plate, number 8, the left fielder, Johnny Radomski.
In his last outing against the Knights, he went an inning and allowed 1 run. It was earned on 1 hit. Johnny Radomski 0 for 3, looking for his first hit today, and instead gets hit for the first time today. So he reaches base. And now Riku Nishida comes on up after just 1 pitch.
And back to the top of the order.
Johnny Radomski, despite this only being his 16th game for the Black Bears, and that being his 65th plate appearance. He's been hit 6 times. Ties him with Brock Bozette for the most on the team, as the Black Bears have been hit by 41 pitches this year. First one to Nishida. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Riku's had himself a day, 1 for 1, but with 3 walks and a double. So now taking a commanding lead in the walk category. Actually, not so much, as Bozette's walked twice today. Both came into the game with 15 as Nishida hits one high over to the third baseman. They fired a second and 1 on to first. Yeah, you're not catching Riku on a ground ball to third base where you got to throw to second first. So he grounds into a fielder's choice. On the 5-4, as Radomski forced out, and Brock Bozette coming on up.
The third baseman, number 3, Brock Bozette.
Bozette has walked twice and grounded out a pair of times as well. Brock looking for his first hit of the contest, and instead takes one up and in, 1-0. The Black Bears do have another right-hander warming up. I think that's Keegan Wright back up. So they'll task him with holding on to a 7-run lead, or perhaps more, as they fired at first, but not in time. Riku does have a stolen base today. Puts him up to 11 on the season. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. 8 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Black Bears. For Portland, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, and 8 left aboard. The Black Bears have left 6 on bases. Bozette takes a strike, 1-1. The Pickles currently lead the season series against the Black Bears, 3-1, but Cowlitz can get a big one here if they can hang on. Now the 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Good sized crowd here on a Fiber Family Wednesday. I almost wanted to say Fiber Federal Wednesday, although they are Fiber Federal Credit Union. Many people have stayed into these early twilight hours to watch their Bears this summer, and hey, those have been tuned in and also here at the game. Really locked into a treat here. Bats exploding for the Black Bears as the breaking ball on the outside corner now, 2-2. So Rufo already facing his 3rd batter of the inning. Now checking over on Nishida before coming set. And he kicks, fires the 2-2, and the breaking ball started a little too low, so Bozette not going to chase that one. So Brock working the count full. Now late in the game for the Black Bears, they're not looking to let up. They want to prove to these other teams in the league that they can hit just as well as anybody else. And right now, really getting the job done as they work another walk. Brock Bozette draws his 3rd of the game, so now he and Nishida both have 18 on the season. As Jacob Stinson coming on in for the 4th time today, or the 5th time rather. It's 2 for 3 of the pair of singles, a strikeout and a walk. Stinson has also scored a pair of runs. Man, and a rough day for the command of Portland's pitching staff. 9 walks issued to Black Bears, as the first one to Stinson is a check swing, but a strike anyway on the outside corner, 0-1. And on the flip side, Black Bears pitching has walked 5, but all of them were Carson Angeroff in the first 5 1/3 innings. It's the 0-1 to Stinson, down and in, and it gets away from Leibel. Nishida and Bozette will both advance off the passed ball. So that one tipped off his glove. Now again, the Black Bears with multiple runners in scoring position.
Go Bears.
As we talked about earlier, the Black Bears hitting really well with runners in scoring position today. 5 for 11, that's a .455 average as the 1-1 to Stinson. Whoa, way outside. And now a 2-1 count coming up as Rufo has that one slip right out of his hand. Line drive scores 2. Nishida and Bozette on base at the same time yet again. It's a 2-1. It's low, 3-1. It's the third time that Nishida and Bozette have both been aboard in the same inning. It's another long pause from Rufo before getting ready to fire, and the 3-1 comes to Stinson and misses low, ball 4. Walk number 10 for the Black Bears today. As now the base is loaded up for Brock Mortensen.
All right, fans, give it up for our center fielder, number 27, Brock Mortensen.
Mortensen 1 for 3. An RBI single, a pair of groundouts, and a walk for him. He's also scored a run. Actually, he's knocked in 2. Once was on that walk. And the first one to him is hit in the air to left center field. Ranging over on it is Jew. He'll make the grab, but Nishida will score easily off the tag up. So another RBI for Mortensen, this one off a sac fly. And the Black Bears with their 9th run of the game. It's a 9-1 ball game. So now 2 outs and Wilson Weber to the plate.
Wilson Weber.
And Wilson's got 3 RBI of his own, a single, fly-out walk, and a sac fly. And Rufo kicks, delivers, and the breaking ball misses in 1-0. The Black Bears with 3 more defensive outs to go to wrap this one up, and well, scoring in 3 consecutive innings will certainly give your bullpen a little more of a cushion, that's for sure. So 1-0, 2-0. Rufo misses down and away. And don't forget to stay tuned after the final out of today's contest for your Cowlitz Black Bears postgame show, brought to you by the Daily News. So we'll get one of the best Black players of the game on up here, and you can catch all the action on KDO and on YouTube as Weber swings and fouls one into the ground now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the umpire expecting that baseball. I think just looking for tears or whatnot. So they gave him the same exact ball that Weber fouled into the ground. And the 2-1 now is a strike on the outside corner, so Deuce is wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. 9 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 6 left for the Black Bears, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 8 left for the Portland Pickles. And time calls as Rufo steps off and needs to recollect himself for the next one against Wilson. And the 2-2 pitch is down and outside, nearly spiked it. Now the count running full yet again. And the Portland pitching staff today has loaded the count up 5 times and has only thrown a strike once. Well, that helps explain the 10 walks as the payoff pitch comes in and Weber slices it foul on the right end, so we'll do it all over again. Wilson tasked with catching Carson Ageroth today, called a good game, threw out a guy at second base. It came way off the bag, and also having a nice day at the plate, 1 for 2 with those 3 runs batted in. As another payoff, runners go, and that's high and in, ball 4, walk number 11 from the Portland staff. And yet another one from Rufo this inning. He's allowed 3 free passes. Jace Bailey up.
For the Black Bears, designated hitter number 12, Jace Bailey.
Bailey's 2 for 2 today, and is going to continue to bat right-handed, even though there's a right-hander on the mound. First one to him is grounded over to the second baseman. This could end the inning. Giannetti picks it up, fires to first, and puts him away for the final out of the inning. But the Black Bears add another run on no hits, no errors, and 3 left aboard. Top of the 9th coming up. So Black Bears look to lock this one down. with Keegan Wright coming on in the ballgame. You won't want to miss it right here on YouTube and KEDO.
All right, folks.
And Keegan Wright coming in to try to close this one out for the Black Bears as they lead it 9-1. Wright will face off against 7, 8, and 9 for the Pickles today.
Out of San Diego Christian, Keegan
And Wright making another big appearance for the Black Bears from out of San Diego Christian College. He's now making his 16th appearance for the team. He's 2-0 with a 2.40 ERA. Has got a save in there. Has pitched 15 innings, 13 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 17 hits allowed. Pitching to a whip of 1.67 as Mark Wanarovich was into the last inning and did well against Portland as he threw a shutout frame for them through 1 inning and allowed just the 1 base runner on a hit, struck 1 batter out, and that's it. No runs for him. 16 pitches, 12 for strikes. That's 75% as Wright trying to nail this one down. He most recently pitched against Yakima Valley back on July 18th, so just 3 days ago. Through 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and that's it. So a scoreless frame for him.
For the Pickles, number 6, Jacob Jablonski.
And now they will stick with their plan. So Jacob Jablonski going to pinch hit. He was going to pinch hit the last time. So first one to him is a ball, 1-0. Jablonski against the Black Bears this season, 2 for 10 with a run scored, a walk, and an RBI. Has struck out 5 times. And the 1-0. He checked his swing, and it's a ball, so good thing he held up 2-0. And Jablonski, a .232 hitter on the season, 16 hits, 69 at-bats, 13 runs scored, 2 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 15 runs batted in. And the 2-0 is on the outside corner for a strike from Wright. 2 balls and 1 strike for him. The bottom part of this order, due up. Well, Jablonski, a pinch hitter. I believe he batted 9th yesterday. And I'd be correct. So still bottom of the order hitter on this team as he waves at the next one and evens the count at 2-2. And the Black Bears now have their largest lead in league play, actually just all season. With an 8-run lead here on Portland. They did beat Corvallis by 9 runs over at Goss Stadium. And the other time they had an 8-run lead on a team, they beat the Highline Bears by a score of 11-3 back on June 16th. So now a full count coming up to Jablonski. And he deals, swing, and a miss, strike 3. And Wright starts the inning off in grand style, a strikeout to put 1 down here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs to go for Cowlitz. Sam Haney comes up. He is 0 for 3. He's reached on an error, grounded out, and struck out. First pitch to Haney is high and away, 1-0.
And now batting first baseman, number 34, Sam Haney.
Right, looking for a smooth inning, and then maybe he can keep his pitch count low enough that he can come in tomorrow in a tight spot. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss. Yeah, that changeup really working for him, 1-1. That's been his key pitch this season. He doesn't throw particularly hard, although he's starting to get his velo back into that low 90 range. He throws in the upper 80s, but that changes speeds, and when he puts it downstairs, it's really tough for batters to get around on as he misses high and outside with the fastball 2-1. Man, now we got to start looking around for who we want today for the post-game interview. A lot of guys to choose from as a swing and a miss comes from Haney. And the count now even at 2-2. Now we got a lot of options, especially offensively. Jacob Stinson was just up here yesterday, so maybe maybe not back-to-back days. Probably going to be between Brock Mortensen and Wilson Weber today. As the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Keegan Wright sends him down on strikes back-to-back with forwards K's, and now the Pickles down to their final out.
And now batting the second baseman, number 15, Kyle Dernetti.
Kyle Dernetti, 0 for 1, walked twice and struck out looking. Can he keep the game alive for the Pickles? As the first one from Keegan is a ball, 1-0. The right-hander from San Diego Christian. Trying to tie a nice bow on this ball game here. Against a team that beat up on the Black Bears pretty bad yesterday, winning by 6, and the Black Bears have responded today. Doing exactly what Jacob Stinson said in the postgame interview yesterday. As Wright gets a swing and a miss here. Stinson said, the thing that needs to change today is we need to punch them in the mouth, and that's exactly what Cowlitz did. They scored 3 in the first and have not looked back as the 1-1 curve is a strike, and now Portland down to their final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, top of the 9th, and the base is empty. Black Bears up by 8. Wright kicks, fires, and it's fouled straight back, so Portland extend the inning, or rather the game, by at least 1 more pitch. Wright gets ready for the 1-2. He deals and misses low, blocked by Weber. And now the count even at 2-2. One last look around the West Coast League. The Sweets now have run away with the game against Wenatchee. They lead at 8-2 in the top of the 9th at Burlesky Stadium. Ridgefield up 6-1 on Port Angeles in the bottom of the 9th at Civic Field. And Bend and Yakima Valley tied at 8, or rather tied at 5 in the top of the 8th. This is grounded off a broken bat right back to Wright. He flips over to first and puts him away for the final out of the ball game. Ball game over. Black Bears win in a dominant performance, answering the Portland Pickles, who won by 6 yesterday. And the Black Bears answer with a 9-1 win. And they can go home happy as they'll push it over to a rubber match and get another opportunity to try to take down the Portland Pickles in a series for the first time in franchise history. The win goes to Carson Engeroth, his second of the season, and the losing side is Eric Morujo. So we'll double check
2 hours and 41 minutes.
To make sure that we have the number right on Marujo. He is now moved over to 2-1 on the season as the Black Bears were able to get up on them early, scoring 3 in the first, and then really put it away with some State Farm insurance runs. In the 6th, 7th, and 8th, they scored 1 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th inning to take this one away and move up to 3-2 in the second half. That'll certainly help them in the standings today. As we'll step aside for now, but when we come back, Cowlitz Black Bears postgame show brought to you by The Daily News. So don't go anywhere, but the final score here at David Story Field, Black Bears 9 and the Pickles 1. We'll be right back on YouTube and KEDO. All right, hello and welcome to the Cowlitz Black Bears postgame show, brought to you by the Daily News. To my left, we have our Black Bear of the game, Brock Mortensen. Brock, you drove in 3 runs today, and including the first run batted in, walk with the bases loaded in the first inning. And, Jacob Stinson yesterday told me what needed to change for today is you guys had to come in and punch him in the mouth. You walked with the bases loaded, Wilson Weber with the 2 RBIs to come in, and honestly, you guys didn't look back from there. And looking at that scoreboard, just the 1 run after. So what was the difference in approach today against Portland, though?
I think it was just energy because, yesterday we came in. We had a good mindset yesterday, but we were pretty flat. So today come in with, energy. And, Portland, they're not really a rival, but this year it's kind of been seeming like it's a rival. Yeah, the base-loaded walk was nice. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So you got to love it. But, no, yeah, I think the energy just coming out today, we really did a good job of just putting pressure on and keeping pressure on. And that's the only way you're going to beat this team because they have so many arms. They have 30 pitchers. So
I think they used 6 or 7 today.
Yeah, they're never going to run out of arms, so you have to just stay on them. Yeah.
You guys jumped on Chris Beitas pretty hard today. He hadn't allowed 4 runs all season, and then he surrendered 4 runs in this game. Now, you're talking about slumping a little bit. How did it feel to get that base hit off your shoulders and then knocking another run later on?
Yeah, it's been a tough week or 2, actually probably 2, if we're really being honest, but no, it felt really good to get that one out of the way, especially against the lefty, the lefty-lefty matchup. I really like when you beat a lefty as a lefty, it feels way better than it does as a righty.
Well, they brought him in just for you, Riku, and Stinson, so that's why they put him in there. And I think all of you punished him. I think everybody reached base against him.
No, yeah. After I got on and Riku and Stinny got on before me, it was just like a big slap in the face to their whole dugout and their coaching staff. It's like you're playing the matchup game, but it didn't work out in your favor, and it kind of blew up in your face, so that was nice.
Well, it's tough. All you guys are big on-base guys. I think Stinny got his 7th multi-hit game of the season, something crazy like that, and Riku walked 3 times. As a team, you guys walked 11 times, and walking hasn't really been something that this team's been known for. You guys put the ball in play a lot, but is that something that you were looking to do a little bit more today, or just like you were taking what the staff was giving you?
Yeah, I feel like we didn't have a conversation about it, but as a group of hitters, I feel like we just need to slow the game down, and that's exactly what we did today, because a lot of the times we get people on base and we get runners on, but we can't string anything together, usually because we're trying to jump on something too early on the count, or we're trying to look for the perfect pitch when it's really just take your hit. If you see a strike, you get it and poke it out to left field. But yeah, like you said, Stinny getting his multi-hit game, it's regular for that kid at this point. And Riku going 1 for 2 with 3 walks.
That's another regular for him as well.
That kid's probably the toughest out in our team. Yeah.
Oh, easily. He's got such great control of the strike zone. He falls behind 0-2 and he walks.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's unreal.
And it's not just a height thing, right? It's
not.
When you see him, it's more
Yeah, he controls the zone unlike anybody I've ever seen, and he knows when to swing. He knows when to. And you just saw it right there. A routine ground ball, double play, just put it in your pocket if you're the second baseman.
Oh, yeah. I even said it on the call. I said, well, they throw over to first, and, you might as well eat it. You're not catching Riku on a double play ball. Never. All right, leave it to Brock right here, talking about his teammates here on his day up here in the booth. This is their second time up here, I think, right? Yeah, didn't even have to hit her dinger this time around. Just knocking in 3 runs and a 9-1 victory. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun here today. So tomorrow, huge game. You only have 4 divisional games left here in the second half, which is crazy to think about. But you guys are mostly playing North teams. You're 3-2. You want to try to, A, protect a winning record in the second half right now, and then, B, the Black Bears have never beaten the Pickles in a 3-game series forever, since the Pickles joined the West Coast League. You think you guys have what it takes to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing though is we don't just don't think about it.
Oh,
you know
of course.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Just come out.
I have to ask these.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But just come out today like we did, and just have fun, playing the hacky sack 10 minutes before the first
I
pitch.
love watching. I almost want to broadcast that as a pregame thing. Yeah.
Yeah, doing that. It's a great way to stay loose. You can't really take it too seriously, because when you take it too seriously, that's when you really start pushing. Right. And when you start pushing and pressing, then that's when things don't go your way. And I think that's what we did a good job of today, is just not pressing, just letting the game come to us, and did a good job of it.
Is that also your personal philosophy just as a player? Never try to get too serious. Just even if you're struggling or even if you're doing really well, just try to keep an even keel and enjoy the game?
Absolutely. The moment I get in the box and my bat wiggle gets a little too fast, I'm like, okay, you got to slow it down a little bit. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Brock. Excellent, man. A lot of good stuff today. And, man, yeah, we're going to have you up here more often. You and Stinny, man, you guys are great up here. Long interviews, a lot of fun, and a great baseball game for you today. So, what, 1 for 2 with the sack fly, 3 ribbies? I think that's about right.
I think so. Or 1 for 3 probably. I think 1 for 3.
1 for 3? Let's
Yeah.
double check right here. It was 1 for 3.
3.
See, you're right. You
Yep.
know even more than I do.
On it, yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Brock Mortensen, ladies and gentlemen, and he was a big part of the Black Bears' 9-1 victory here today. Drove in a third of their runs, and will look to help them win against the Portland Pickles, and for the second, or rather the third time this season, and hopefully beat them in a series for the first time in Black Bears franchise history. A big thank you goes out to Justin Ford behind the camera and pushing all the buttons on the TV side for all the excellent work he does. Over to Jacob Ackerman back over at KDO for keeping us on the air and playing all those commercials while we wait for Brock to sign autographs for his adoring fans here today. Listen, I can't blame him. He's a nice guy. He promised a kid, and he went over. And then I know you couldn't just sign one kid's ball, right? You have to get everybody.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. So, Brock, once again, thank you for coming in. And, of course, thank you at home, whether you're tuned in on YouTube or KDOAM.com. We're happy that you're with us, and you can catch us on all those platforms tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. as the Black Bears look to win the series against the Pickles, and coverage will start at 6:30 p.m. You can also get tickets at Cowlett'sBlackBears.com. Once again, final score, Black Bears win a big one, their second biggest margin of victory of the season. They win it by a score of 9-1, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 6:35. So take care, have a great evening, and as always, stay frosty. Have a good night, everybody. Jacob, thank you.